Hey guys, this is Caleb Pack with the Graves County High School Eagle Eyes newspaper, and today I'm going to show you how to build a light, or a flashlight, whatever you want to call it, out of a D-cell battery, a couple paper clips, tape, any kind you can find, a flashlight light bulb. I haven't tried this with a larger light bulb, so I'm planning on doing that later. I don't know if it'll work. And either a pocket knife, or if you have one handy, a multi-tool, or any kind of crimping and pinching device you can use, kind of spare your hands a little bit. So yeah, let's get started. First thing you'll need to do is, if you want, this isn't necessary, is I took a little piece of tinfoil, took one paper clip, bent it so that it will fit snugly on the bottom so it can access the negative part of the battery, and then set it on the tinfoil so the battery doesn't move when you set it down, so it has a firm place to sit. But if not, all you have to do is take a piece of your tape. If the paper clip falls, that's fine. Take one piece, set it out, and then take another piece about roughly the same size. Take your first piece, lay it across to hold the paper clip in tape, or in place, sorry. Make sure the paper clip is snug and flush to the battery. And take the other piece and just kind of angle it across. Just kind of put a little extra hold onto it. And then how I set it on aluminum foil, we'll just hold it in place while I do this. Then you want to take, and you can see where I've done this before, just take one paper clip and straighten it out. And it doesn't have to be perfect, but getting it about as straight as you can will help the best. Like that. And take this little piece that should be hanging over the side of it. Take that and just stick it through and bend upwards. And then, if you don't have very strong hands, or not very calloused fingers to where this could hurt when you try to do this, take your multi-tool or your pliers or whatever you have, and take and crimp it, and then just make sure you've got a really good hold on it, and twist so that the paper clip is winded around itself. And if this moves a little, that's fine, because we're going to tape this down. So you just tape the paper clip that you just unfolded with a piece of your Scotch tape, and tape it down to the side, like so. And so it will stay pretty much in place. And if you want to, you can tape down on the bottom too. Now, you can do this in a couple ways. The way I like to do it, is actually take this paper clip and start unfolding it to where the battery, the aluminum part of the battery, around the sides right here, or the light, I'm sorry, can fit snugly inside of this. you can take the paper clip that's on the side of the battery and connect it to the paper clip that's on top of this to get a circuit going. Like so. Oh, came off the light. We gotta fix that real quick. Only thing you have to do to fix that is push it down to where it's nice and snug, or pinch right there. Or if you need to, you can twist it. I accidentally pinched too hard and I broke this paper clip. So, let's try this again. If you do accidentally break it, hang on to the paper clip because it can still come in handy, quite possibly. Okay, so once again, just bend your paper clip around. Make sure you don't get too tight on the bottom part. So, that was just a little big, so let's take this, kind of wrap it in some. So, right there, you know you won't be able to get it to fit. But what you can do is try to smash the loop open a little bit to where it opens just enough that you can fit the light bulb itself snugly into it. There we go. Then this time, take your one side, bend it under the other, and bend the top side over. Then push this all the way down. Oh, that was almost bad. Okay, well, after you get this twisted nice, make sure you still have part sticking out so that you can use that to connect it to the other paper clip to complete the circuit. Okay. Okay. That should be well enough, that should stay. Now, you can see that when the two paper clips touch, the light bulb lights. So what we do from here is do a couple things. The first time I did this, I made a counter brace so that where this loop is, right here, I taped one paper clip just so it would hold it down over here. Just depends on how everything goes on this one. So now what you need to do is just take and wrap this around about right where you think it will fit the best. Take that, pinch it right here to where you'll be able to wrap this one around and do that very thing. Start wrapping it around. Okay. Now that I've started wrapping this, if it doesn't fit right on like this, it's just barely off the side, which sometimes it'll still light, sometimes it won't. All you have to do is bend either this one or this one, however you need to fit, so that this will work completely. Take and just bend these nice and tight together so that this won't slide off or slide very much. Sometimes sliding it off can be used as an off switch for the battery or for the light. See? Now we have what is the main part of our light. Now just take and twist this around nice and solid to make as little movement as possible. Then I'm going to actually bend this upward, and bend this one downward, and push it in. That leaves enough of a circuit that we can light the bulb. Now, you see that the battery will light on its own when it touches correctly. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make another counter brace on the other side just to hold it still. That's where this last enough throwaway would come in handy. If you just squeeze it through this hole. Okay, let's open this hole up a little bit. Just a little bit, not enough that it causes anything big. If needed, you can try to slide the battery out. Or the light bulb. Okay. Now just part that just a little bit. There we go. Now put your light bulb back on. And if you bent it some like I did, like this got bent a little bit out of whack, just bend it back to how you need it to stay. And slide your light bulb back in. Just like that. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to I'm also going to tighten this a little bit because the battery or the light can start falling out. So I made it looser without trying somehow. Just a little pinch will do. You never want to overdo this because too tight will cause a lot more work than too loose. That slid out. There we go. Okay. Okay, this one you'll need to straighten out so that it won't pull this opposite way of where it needs to go. Or like right now, I was trying to pull it up and off of the battery top. Okay, let's spin this just a little bit because it's pulling too much towards the right than it is the left. Okay. Now right here should be right at just about perfect. Now just bend it to where you need it to stay. Take your tape, which mine fell right here. Take a piece of tape. Set your light back up. Take your side that you're going to use the brace with. Set it right there. Now before you put the tape down, you want to pull the brace down to where the light's going to stay, but the brace isn't just hanging there. Like right here. Now, just kind of fool around with your paper clips a little bit. Try to get it to stay. And take, if you want, a piece of tin foil, just any standard aluminum foil. Take a pretty good size, you don't need super big, but a little bit will work just fine. Pull out the foil, about that much will work. Try to rip it off as deeply as you can, which I'm not very good at. Take it and start folding it in a little bit so that it gets smaller and smaller without crinkling it too much. And if you do crinkle it, let's set this over here. Just take a flat object and just kind of smooth it out. Okay. Then take and wrap the tin foil around the light. That here should work just fine. Oh, got my light out. Okay. We gotta adjust the light back on. I'm sorry, I totally didn't realize that I moved this so far away from the camera. If you do what I did and knock your flashlight off, all you have to do is unroll it. Oh, there's our problem. I just knocked it off the negative side. That's why it's not receiving so much charge. Okay, now, if I move it back down where it's supposed to go, I should get a charge. Yeah, right there. it back to where you want it again. More paperclip bending and unnecessary. Well, necessary if you want light, but kind of redundant steps. Okay. I'm actually gonna tape it to where I think I can get it to stay, so that it can't jiggle around too much when we put the tinfoil on. Okay. Here we go. I think part of the problem is that the bottom part's starting to come off, so I'm going to try to tape that down a little bit more. A little bit more pressure onto it. Okay. Now that seems to work, let's put this back on. Move it back into place. Right there, okay. Now, just like we were before, take your battery, place it inside the aluminum foil, wrap it up like you would a flashlight, fold it in the bottom parts, and set that down so that that becomes nice and smooth on the bottom. Adjust your light as needed, and then you have refolded out reflection on it. Now let's see how this thing does in the dark. Okay, so you can clearly see the light, but now it's like a full-on flashlight. You can see right here, I have a lamp, and a guitar book, Wendy's cup. Oh, light went out. The original flashlight that I got the parts from, 7-Up bottle, and you can't really tell that that's the TV, but that's the speaker. So, yeah, that's the light. I hope you enjoyed this first episode of the survival help zombie survival series I'm going to start doing for the newspaper. Check out Gabby's stories and any multimedia she puts up for life hacks, and get back at you guys later.